This is a normal Xbox, and this is the world's largest fully functional Xbox Series X. In this video, I'm going to show you how I built the world's largest Xbox Series X, and then I'm going to take this Xbox and customize it with ZHC and his team. And then we're going to be donating this giant Xbox to the YMCA Youth and Teen Development Center in Atlanta, Georgia. I got the idea for this build when I saw Microsoft's giant Xbox. At first glance, I thought it was fully functional, but after watching the video, it's just a giant refrigerator. It's cool, but it would be even cooler if it worked. So I decided to make a giant Xbox that actually worked. The first step is building the frame that's gonna hold all of the Xbox components. Here you can see I have a very simple structure, and on that structure, I'm gonna add the side panels of the Xbox. One of the more challenging parts of this build was designing the top. So if you look at the top here, you'll see this curve. Now Microsoft didn't bother to tackle this level of detail with their build. They just have a flat board with a bunch of holes cut into it. I decided to do it the hard way, and I have that curve just like the real Xbox on the top. I 3D printed a bunch of little sections, and when I glue them all together, you'll get this really nice curve just like the real Xbox. It took about 2 weeks to do this, but I really think it adds a level of detail that really helps this build come to life. And even though nobody will probably ever see the top because this thing stands at over 6.5 feet tall, I think it's worth it. Now, designing the back of this was also pretty tricky. Microsoft really didn't have any sort of level of detail on the back of their Xbox. This is what theirs looked like. There's no lettering. It really wasn't that descriptive, so I wanted mine to be as accurate as possible. So right now I'm epoxying the vents that are going to go on the back of this, and then once those are in place, I can put the 3D printed giant USB ports into the back of this thing. Once all the ports are finally in place and everything is sanded, we can apply the lettering to the back of this. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I personally think it has a lot more detail than Microsoft's version, but let me know what you guys think. Now for the final touch, making the Xbox logo. For the Xbox logo, I wanted it to be transparent so you have that really cool glowing effect just like the real Xbox. Now if I did everything right, this should work the first time, but there's only one way to find out. So this is how it all works.
I built a custom hidden shelf in the back of this, which houses the Xbox that powers everything. I 3D printed a special bracket which holds servo motors over each corresponding button on the Xbox. When you push a button on the supersized Xbox, that signal is sent to an Arduino, which then tells the servo motor which button to press on the Xbox inside of the giant Xbox. Just in case you didn't believe me, I'm going to show you everything is fully functional, even the CD eject button. I also added a custom dimmer switch. I didn't realize how bright the LEDs were, and I wasn't trying to blind anybody.
And this is what the back looks like. We have our storage expansion slot, HDMI, power, Ethernet, even USB ports. Everything is identical to the Xbox Series X.
Measuring over 2 meters tall and over 1 meter wide, this Xbox weighs 113 kilograms and is 600% bigger than the existing Xbox it's modeled after. It also holds the Guinness World Record for being the largest Xbox ever made. After thoroughly testing the Xbox, it was time to take it to Texas, where ZHC was going to customize this before we donated it. Be sure to check out his channel because he's going to show exactly how he customized this whole Xbox with his team. This is day 3 of the design challenge, and everybody just finished, and Zach is going to show us what this looks like right now.
So if we come over here, we had 50 hours to paint this piece. a little bit more than 2 days. This piece is called Milk and Honey, so I wanted a very cute, friendly, fun theme that also has a lot of color. that can pop. So we have my character all over this piece. Like a sad one, there's a happy one, there's a sleeping one, there's a super big happy one, there's kind of like a derpy one. And then there's honeycombs all over the place. There's some Xbox references.
So that's what the diamond play button is.
It's not real diamond, it's steel.
We have the normal YouTube logo, and then we have, I think that's the silver play button, 100,000.
Okay, this is a turkey robot, and this is Turkey right here, that's Zach's character, but each arm is a different color to match all the other artists' color. Jake's is supposed to be like a scrunchie. This is supposed to look like a turtle shell. Mackenzie really likes Tiger. Added spikes for the shoulder pad.
Tigers don't have spikes.
You can't do claws, okay? All right. And then we have orange and pink. And then we have little energy effects because this robot has the power to control electricity, and that's why his eyes are yellow.
So Zach, what did you think when you first saw the giant Xbox?
Okay, so I knew a couple weeks ago, you already told me you had the record-breaking Xbox, but when it actually came in person, it looked so much cooler. The details on this is absolutely insane. And when we pulled this out, there's like a little Xbox inside with like little servo motors, which I thought was really, really cool. Last time when we had the PS5, it wasn't as complex as this. Honestly, I'm really impressed.
Now the Xbox is finally ready for delivery. After a brief 14-hour road trip, we finally reached the YMCA Youth and Teen Development Center in Atlanta, Georgia. Now the kids didn't know what to expect. We just told them we had a surprise and that we were going to show everybody at the same time. Okay, is everybody ready?
Oh my god. Is that where you put the game disc? That is a big excuse.
Hello, my name is Michael Pick, and I run a YouTube channel where I make really cool stuff. I studied computer science in school and worked professionally as an engineer ever since graduating. Most of my previous videos have been either miniatures or supersized projects of normal items. For example, I made a supersized Nerf gun, and I made a miniature iMac computer. I'm also working on several much larger projects that are very different than anything that you've seen before. So if you'd like to see that, please consider subscribing, and I'll be posting those videos very soon.
If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Also, if you work at a hospital and you'd like to work with me in the future, please reach out. My contact information is on my YouTube page and also in the description.